Hello and welcome to Light Language with Louise for this upcoming full moon in Aries on the 1st or 2nd of October, depending on where you are on the planet. And what a planet it is right now. So much going on around the world. And at this time of the full moon in Aries, we're really looking at how do we be our authentic, individual, sovereign selves, and at the same time have that respect for one another. How do we create a collective, a society where we can all honor one another, honor the equality in one another, and co-create that together, live in harmony. There's so much discord at the moment on the planet, and that's because those old structures of control, government control, power over are crumbling. And there's still that energy. It's been here for all of this year with the planets in Capricorn, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, really providing that kind of, the sense of control, but also the sense of that shifting, that power is shifting, that power base is shifting. And at this Aries full moon, we're really illuminating, where do we find that sense of authenticity and power in ourselves? What do we believe in? What do we stand up for? And how do we express that without falling into that discord, right? So there's this energy of how do we be that individual and yet also be part of a cohesive, harmonious whole, a collective. How do we relate to one another in a healthy way? And this really comes from finding that healthy relationship with self first, right? So, we want to have that sense of who we are, what we stand for, what we value, but we don't want to be butting up against other people with that. We want to really own that. And when we own and respect that in ourselves, we're able to invite others into that place too of mutual respect. We're able to respect where others are coming from, respect their sovereignty, right? That we all have this innate power, we all have this innate right to be ourselves, and we don't have the right to impose that on others. So that's what we're looking at the moment in the world, that all of these structures that we've set up where we've had power over, where we've had hierarchies, all of that needs to shift and change now. And so it's really important at this time to keep yourself really focused on what is the kind of world that you want to be a part of? What kind of world do you want to create? And being really present that we're doing that in every moment with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our actions, with our intentions. So really allow this moon to show you, where are you not committed to yourself? Where do you abandon yourself? Where do you wobble when it comes to interactions with others? Where do you lose that center in yourself? And how can you find that right balance between your needs and your self and your knowledge of who you are and your values, and how do you interact in a respectful and empowered way with others, really respecting where they're coming from, not sacrificing yourself to please others, not allowing yourself to be pressured to conform, to agree to things that you don't agree with, right? There's a bit of an energy of that going on in the world right now, and it could be over this time that we're going to start feeling more restricted again, but knowing always that that sense of sovereignty within yourself, that sense of self-respect, your ability to take care of yourself, know what you need, can never be taken away from you, right? So at this time also we have Mars retrograde still, and Mars is really close to the Earth at this time. So there's that heat of Mars, that kind of warrior, fighting, dynamic, assertive energy is there as well. So, be aware of all of that. Be aware of what's going on. Yes, there's clashes. Yes, people are coming out and, fighting against these structures and the control, but, not to let yourself, put too much energy into what's all of that, right? Into that conflict, to come back to yourself, as a sovereign being, to come back to that power that is within you and within every individual to create change. But we can create that in a way that doesn't have to be violent, doesn't have to bring so much conflict, right? That commitment to yourself, leading from who you are, leading authentically in your own life, showing others what it looks like to respect yourself, to be empowered, to be authentic, and then allowing others to find that in themselves as well. So as always at this time, I like to call for a light language activation to support us. So I feel I'd really like to call for a transmission to support us to really understand and know what sovereignty is, what authenticity is, from a really peaceful and centered place. When you think about, a sovereign ruler, someone, a king or a queen that's really been born to that, there's a self-assurance, there's an awareness of their authority that is unquestioned, right? And so it's not that we want to be in that position of authority over others. We really want to be in that position of authority over ourselves, right? So have a sense of yourself as a sovereign king or queen in your own life, and feel also what comes with that. Really, the best sovereigns also have these qualities of, grace and generosity and nobility, and doing the right thing by everyone, and having the collective interests at heart. Ultimately, the kings and queens, it was supposed to be the representative of the divine here to act on behalf of the collective, to make choices that are right for everyone. So let's remember that and include that in our feeling of sovereignty, what it feels like to be in that sovereign service where, as you serve yourself, as you honor yourself as an expression of the divine, you too are serving the greater collective and the greater good. And we are on such a journey of expansion. Humanity, the planet, the galaxy, so much going on, so many upgrades, and just everything shifting right now. So let's really ask for that transmission, receive that transmission now, receiving the healing frequencies in the highest for you at this time, so you can really know and experience yourself as a sovereign being in every moment of your life. Quare tata more asalo te no mochorkat im. Karalokat or imasa ropetar kor abat in nimela al an orkot in. Ya santo pekor alal emale elimanan or in Eakar etotan nasam erikol amarate I. Ikiasor alar on amarakat it irkas ator. Kaare tatar kotomasi ar I lamaro ot ai. Kas ich arkot amorale kor in imesar kot im. Isyar kot ai. Ara sutomashira kat armosi tara alkot arkit is erkon am. Kiara kot are isar una shere odom arkot eb arasat I. Karela nono omari e passar ol ad rena mokar ib ad nimere il al or amassat ik iralot So they're really saying there that we are, elevating everyone as each of us elevates, as each of us raises in consciousness, as each of us owns the truth of our own power and our own sovereignty and our own divinity. This elevates everyone. This elevates the consciousness of the whole world. So really to be aware of that, to really be aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, to be aware how you see and judge yourself, how you see and judge others and life, because that energy that you're putting into that is actually, contributing. It's either, lowering or elevating the consciousness of the collective. So this is really about, you having that sovereign power over your own vibration and your own frequency. And in doing so, you are really serving the collective by holding that in an elevated frequency, being able to observe what's going on in the world without getting pulled down by it, right? And not being distant, but holding your heart open with compassion for everything that's going on in the world right now, at the same time not falling into the illusion of it, right? So that's what they're saying, there's this sovereignty, this ability to see with the higher perspective, see and, observe with divine mind, right? Rather than falling into the judgments and the duality of that human perspective. So I wish you a beautiful couple of weeks. I'll be back around the new moon. And in the meantime, I invite you to join me next week. I'll be offering a day or two before the full moon, the usual monthly Voices of Light global gathering. So this is a longer guided healing journey and light language activations, really tuning into the energy of this full moon. And you know, I feel like we're in such an important time at the moment, like we're really ready to birth this new reality as we're moving into the end of this year and coming around to 2021. So it's a really powerful time for you to get really clear on who you are, what you're here for, what you came to do, right? By being yourself, right? That's your highest service, you know, bringing through, fully expressing the unique vibration, that unique soul signature that you are. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again very soon. Lots of love. Namaste.